A day that started like any other. Clear skies, quiet engines, and passengers boarding a Boeing 787 bound for London. 242 souls, unaware that only one would ever leave that aircraft alive. The aircraft was Air India Flight 171. Vishwas, a 40-year-old British national, would board Air India Flight 171 with his brother Ajay. Vishwas was sitting in seat 11A, and his younger brother Ajay had seat 11J. Vishwas tried to arrange seats so that they could sit together, but couldn't manage to do so on time. The flight was supposed to take off at 1:10 p.m. IST, but was running late by 28 minutes. It wasn't until 1:38 that the flight took off from runway 23. For the first 30 seconds, everything seemed normal, but after that, something went wrong. 33 seconds after the takeoff, the plane was gone. No time for distress calls, no fire, no warnings, just lift, then silence. And then a thunderous crash into the heart of Ahmedabad. It tore through a medical college hostel. Students, doctors, bystanders, civilians, swallowed by fire and steel. More than 270 lives ended, both in the sky and on the ground. The wreckage was chaos, bodies unrecognizable, families destroyed. But somewhere in that fire, a man was still conscious. Before nosediving into the college, the plane pilot called for a mayday. According to the Directorate General of Civil Aviation, the flight crew issued a mayday call, but when air traffic control replied, there was no response. There were 230 passengers and 12 crew members on board the 11-year-old Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner. At the controls of Flight 171 was Captain Sumit Sabharwal, a veteran nearing retirement with over 8,000 flying hours of experience. He remained unmarried to care for his father. Only a few days ago, he called his father to say he'd be quitting his job to take care of him. First Officer Clive Kundar, just shy of his 32nd birthday. His mother was once a flight attendant for Air India, which motivated him to pursue an aviation career. He had an experience of more than 1,000 flying hours. Both men were highly trained. Both were calm under pressure. And both had no idea this would be their final flight. Investigators later confirmed that just seconds before the crash, a mayday call was issued, a final, desperate attempt to save 242 lives. But by the time the call reached air traffic control, it was already too late. On board were 242 lives. Of these, 169 are Indian nationals, 53 are British nationals, 1 Canadian national, and 7 Portuguese nationals, and 12 crew members. All are gone, except for one. The Boeing 787 Dreamliner crashed into a medical college. It crashed into the BJ Medical College and Hospital, resulting in more casualties. Thick smoke was seen near the area where the crash happened. The fire brigade was on the spot, and emergency response teams were being mobilized. Former Gujarat Chief Minister Vijay Rupani is also among the victims who died in the crash. In the medical college, where the plane struck, there were around 70 people inside the mess area. A female cook, her granddaughter, a neurosurgeon, a pregnant doctor, and countless others died there on the spot. More than 60 people got injured, and the total lives lost was more than 270. In his home, a man sat motionless in front of the television, watching the news of the crash of Air India Flight 171. In that moment, he went back in time to 1988, 37 years ago, in the same city of Gujarat, Ahmedabad. In the 1988 crash, he lost his sister's would-be father-in-law, and on June 12th, it was his daughter. She was the only child. She was kind and wholesome with an always learning attitude. She loved cooking. She loved everyone around her, and she was always happy and full of life. But on June 12th, nothing made sense. Why did the crash happen? What was the reason the plane couldn't lift off? And a million more questions. And the answers to these questions are yet to come out. This wasn't just a crash. It was the first fatal loss of a Boeing 787 Dreamliner, a plane once considered among the safest.
Elements that recharge me. So when we touch down, I'm ready to take off again.
Investigators have scoured the black boxes. The early data is inconclusive. Dual-engine power loss is suspected, but no official cause has been released. Official statements from Air India and Boeing have been released. Air India on X said, Flight AI-171, operating Ahmedabad-London Gatwick, was involved in an incident today, 12th June 2025. At this moment, we are ascertaining the details and will share further updates at the earliest. And Boeing India has also released a statement. Our deepest condolences go out to the loved ones of the passengers and crew on board Air India Flight 171, as well as everyone affected in Ahmedabad. I have spoken with Air India Chairman N. Chandrasekaran to offer our full support, and a Boeing team stands ready to support the investigation led by India's Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau. The Tata Group, which owns Air India, as per the Montreal Convention, the airline is liable for damages up to $170,000 per passenger, regardless of fault. Investigating teams of the US, UK, and India are involved in solving this case. As investigators dig deeper, signs of overlooked maintenance and compromised quality are beginning to emerge. Behind the polished exterior, the investigation uncovered cracks in both the machinery and the system meant to maintain it. Yet despite the findings, the core reality remains shrouded in uncertainty. Vishwas and Ajay boarded the flight, but only Vishwas walked out of the debris. He was the only survivor in this crash, one out of 242 on board. Vishwas lost his brother in this fatal crash. He walked out untouched with minor injuries. His seat was 11A, next to the emergency exit. Hope came through that door and walked out with Vishwas, with one question in his heart: just why? One of the brothers survived, and now he carries the unbearable weight of that survival. Authorities are working day and night to find out what caused this crash and what happened in those 33 seconds. Details are yet to come, and families and friends of the people who lost their lives in this accident are awaiting an explanation. DNAs of deceased are being matched with the family members, and there has been no official data as to how many they have matched and how many more to go. All we can hope for is closure for their families who lost their lives in this fatal crash. Thank you for watching. We'd love to hear your thoughts, insights, or theories in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe for more in-depth documentaries and original short films. Follow us on our social platforms for exclusive content and behind-the-scenes updates.